Ever get the feeling like your favorite brands are like reading your mind? Okay, maybe not read your mind, but with AI, it's getting pretty darn close.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Today, we're going deep on how AI is shaking up the world of digital marketing.
Buckle up.
We've got some seriously interesting sources that break down everything from AI-powered personalization to how algorithms are like cook up those ads you see everywhere.
It's wild how fast AI went from like a sci-fi thing to a core part of how we experience the internet.
Right.
And we're not just talking about like basic automation here. AI is being used to understand how customers behave on a super granular level.
Yeah.
It's leading to some seriously smart marketing strategies.
One of the sources really dives into this idea of personalization at scale.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, AI can analyze tons of user data to create experiences tailored for each individual customer.
Hmm.
It's like having a personal shopper for the digital age.
That's a great way to put it. Think about it. You go to like an online store,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're seeing recommendations for stuff you've been, browsing or maybe even just thinking about. That's
Whoa.
AI doing its thing. And it's
Wow.
not just products.
Oh, okay.
We're seeing AI personalize content, emails, even the words in those ads.
Okay. That explains why my social media feels so, like, laser focused sometimes. Like, it
Wow,
knows what I want before I do.
it's kind of spooky.
One of the sources mentioned something called collaborative filtering.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, AI uses that to suggest products based on what people like you have bought.
Right. Collaborative filtering is powerful, but there's also content-based filtering.
Okay.
AI looks at the stuff you've interacted with before
Huh?
and suggests similar things. It's like,
It's all about understanding what you like and predicting what you'll want next.
that's actually really cool, but also a little creepy. Does this mean AI is like profiling us all the time?
In a way, yeah. AI is a master at recognizing patterns.
Oh, okay. So by looking at your online activity, it can pick up trends and preferences you might not even realize you have.
So it's not just about collecting the data, it's about understanding what the data means.
Exactly.
That reminds me of another thing from the sources, AI's ability to analyze sentiment or like how people feel about a brand.
Totally. AI can go through social media posts, reviews, even customer service chats to figure out what the public thinks.
Really?
This gives brands like real-time intel on what's working and what's not,
Oh, wow.
and they can adjust their approach accordingly.
So it's like having your finger on the pulse of like public opinion 24/7.
Pretty much.
This kind of data analysis would have taken a team weeks to do just a few years ago.
Yeah, and that's a key point. AI isn't just about doing things faster.
Uh-huh.
It's about doing things that we simply couldn't do before.
Oh, interesting.
Like think about content creation.
Wait, AI can make content now?
Yep.
I thought that was still a human thing, like writers and designers.
AI content creation tools have gotten really good in the past few years.
Wow.
They're not replacing human creativity entirely, but they're a huge help.
Like how so?
Think of AI generating product descriptions, writing social media posts, even composing music for ad campaigns.
Whoa, it's like having a bunch of virtual assistants churning out content 24/7.
Right.
I guess that's why I'm seeing so much content from brands these days.
It's all about keeping up with the demand for fresh, engaging content. AI helps brands do that more efficiently and effectively.
Yeah.
For example, one source talked about how AI can optimize content for search engines so it gets seen by the right people.
So it's not just about making a ton of content.
Nope.
It's about quality and relevance, too.
Exactly.
Makes sense. There's so much content out there.
Yeah,
Brands need to make sure their message stands out.
for sure.
Speaking of standing out, let's talk about advertising.
Okay.
This is where AI gets really interesting, or maybe a little scary.
It's definitely powerful. Have you ever noticed how the ads you see online seem like tailored to you?
Yeah, actually.
That's not a coincidence. It's AI-driven programmatic advertising at work.
Okay, break that down for me. What exactly is programmatic advertising?
It sounds super technical.
It does.
It's basically automating the buying and placing of digital ads,
Okay.
all powered by algorithms.
Uh-huh.
So instead of humans negotiating ad placements and all that, AI does it in real time.
Oh, wow.
It analyzes tons of data to figure out the best placements.
So it's like having a super smart media buyer working 24/7 to make sure your ads are seen by the right people.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
AI takes the guesswork out of advertising.
Yeah.
Makes it much more precise and efficient.
So advertisers get a better return on their investment.
Right.
And hopefully consumers get a more relevant experience.
Ideally, yeah.
I can see why businesses love it.
Uh-huh.
But, I can't help but wonder about the implications for us, the consumers.
Oh, for sure. It's important to think about the potential downsides, but there are upsides too.
Like what?
For example, AI can help prevent what's called ad fatigue.
Okay.
When you see the same ad over and over again,
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
AI can help make sure that doesn't happen as much.
That's a big plus. No one wants to be bombarded by the same ad a million times.
Right.
But this whole conversation about AI targeting and personalization, it makes me think about the ethics of it all.
That's a crucial part of the conversation. But before we get into the ethics, let's explore another area where AI is having a huge impact.
Okay, what's that?
Customer service.
You mean those chatbots that pop up on websites?
Yeah,
To be honest, I used to find them kind of annoying.
I get it. The early chatbots were often clunky and frustrating,
Yeah.
but AI has changed things a lot.
Hmm.
Now, chatbots can understand and respond to way more questions and requests.
Oh, really?
They can offer 24/7 support and give personalized recommendations.
So they're getting smarter and more helpful.
Definitely.
I have noticed some chatbots are starting to sound more, well, human-like.
That's because they're being trained on massive amounts of human conversations.
Oh, wow.
They learn natural language patterns and can adapt to different communication styles.
So it's all about creating a seamless and engaging experience for customers,
Yeah,
whether they're talking to a human or a machine.
exactly.
It's amazing how far chatbot technology has come.
It really is.
But how are businesses using them beyond, like, just answering basic questions?
Chatbots are becoming way more sophisticated in what they can do.
Like what?
They can guide customers through complex transactions, offer personalized product suggestions, and even gather valuable data about customer preferences.
So it's not just about providing customer support.
Nope,
It's about gathering insights that can be used to improve products and services.
exactly. Every chat with a chatbot is a chance to learn more about the customer and tailor future experiences to them.
Wow, this AI stuff is really making me rethink my whole digital experience.
Right.
It's like there's this whole other layer of intelligence working behind the scenes.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, no.
AI is always evolving, and its impact on digital marketing is only going to get bigger.
Well, I've had this deep dive. I'm definitely feeling a lot more informed.
Good.
Also, a little overwhelmed, to be honest. It's a lot to process.
I hear you. It is a complex and multifaceted topic,
Yeah,
but that's also what makes it so fascinating, don't you think?
absolutely. And it's definitely something we'll be revisiting as the AI world keeps changing.
For sure.
And for you listening, here's something to think about. As AI gets more and more woven into our digital lives, how will it change how you interact with brands? Will you be more careful about how your data is used?
That's a good question.
It's like AI is forcing us to be more aware of our own digital footprints.
And that awareness is a good thing.
Yeah,
It gives us the power to make smarter choices about how we engage with the digital world.
with all these super smart algorithms shaping it.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? AI is here to stay, and it's going to keep transforming the marketing world in huge ways.
Well said.
Speaking of evolving, these sources make it clear that AI in marketing is still in its early stages. What does the future look like?
Well, if the past few years are anything to go by, the future's going to be wild.
Oh, okay.
We're already seeing crazy advancements in personalization, content creation, and campaign optimization.
Wow.
And as AI keeps developing, you can bet we'll see even more sophisticated stuff.
Okay.
Things that'll blur the lines between the digital and physical worlds even more.
Okay, now I'm getting excited again. But seriously, what does this mean for marketers? What do they need to do to stay ahead of the curve?
The key takeaway is that marketers need to embrace lifelong learning. AI is a fast-moving field, so it's crucial to keep up with the latest developments.
So it's not just about mastering the tools.
Nope,
It's also about understanding the bigger picture, the implications, and the responsibilities that come with this power.
precisely.
It's a brave new world out there, and AI is changing it in ways we're only just beginning to understand.
So true.
All right, I think we've covered just about every angle of AI in marketing, but before we wrap up, I wanted to go back to something you said earlier about AI blurring the lines between the digital and physical worlds.
Ah, yes, that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
We've been focusing on how AI is used online, but its impact is starting to show offline as well.
Give me an example.
Think about smart speakers and virtual assistants, like Alexa or Google Assistant.
Oh, yeah.
They're in millions of homes, collecting data about what we like and what we do.
Okay.
And that data can be used to personalize our experiences in the real world, too.
So, like, targeted ads on billboards based on my recent Amazon purchases?
That's one possibility, but it goes beyond just advertising.
Oh, okay.
Imagine walking into a store and having a tapping experience created just for you,
Wow.
based on your past purchases and what you do online.
That's kind of cool. But also a little, Big Brother-ish, isn't it?
It depends on how you look at it.
True.
So people might find it convenient and helpful, while others might feel like their privacy is being invaded.
Yeah.
It's a tricky balance.
This whole AI thing is making me rethink my relationship with technology in general.
Uh-huh.
It's like we're inviting these algorithms into every part of our lives without really knowing what we're getting into.
I think that's a good way to think about it. It's important to be aware of the risks as well as the benefits
Yeah,
and to speak up about our concerns.
right. We need to be active in shaping how AI is developed and used, not just passive bystanders.
Absolutely. And that starts with education and open conversations. The more we understand about AI, the better we'll be at making smart choices about how it fits into our lives.
Well said. I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today.
For sure,
It's been a fascinating deep dive into AI and digital marketing.
it has. And I have a feeling this is just the start of the conversation.
Absolutely.
AI is evolving incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And its impact on marketing and society as a whole is only going to grow in the coming years.
So we've talked about how AI is, personalizing our online experiences, creating content, and even running our ads.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff, but it also makes you wonder about the future of marketing
Mm-hmm.
and like what's the role of human marketers going to be? I mean, if AI can do all this, what does that mean for people who actually work in marketing?
That's a question on a lot of people's minds.
Right.
And the answer, like a lot of things with AI, is complicated.
Okay.
Some people think AI will end up automating a lot of the everyday tasks marketers do now,
Oh, okay.
freeing them up to focus on more strategic and creative work.
So instead of spending hours like analyzing data or tweaking ad campaigns,
Right.
marketers can focus on the bigger picture, like developing brand strategy or coming up with those really innovative marketing campaigns.
Exactly. AI can take care of the heavy lifting when it comes to data, optimizing things, and even execution.
Okay.
This lets human marketers use their unique skills, creativity, empathy, strategic thinking,
Hmm.
to come up with campaigns that really connect with people on a deeper level.
It's like AI is becoming the ultimate marketing assistant, right?
Yeah,
Handling all the boring stuff so humans can do what they're best at.
exactly.
But does that mean every marketer needs to become an AI expert to, stay relevant?
Not necessarily. I
Okay.
mean, a basic understanding of AI is definitely good,
Yeah.
but it's more important for marketers to have a strong grasp of like the core marketing principles.
Okay.
AI is just a tool,
Uh-huh.
and like any tool, it's only as good as the person using it.
So it's not about replacing human marketers with AI. It's
It-
about empowering them with AI. That's way more optimistic.
Absolutely. The future of marketing is probably going to be humans and machines working together,
I like that.
each bringing their own strengths to create more effective, more engaging marketing experiences.
Yeah, it's not AI versus humans.
Right.
It's AI and humans.
Exactly.
That brings us back to this idea of AI blurring the lines between the digital and physical worlds. Earlier, you mentioned smart speakers and virtual assistants,
Yeah.
like Alexa and Google Assistant.
Uh-huh.
How are those changing the marketing game?
They're gathering a ton of data about what we like and what we do,
Yeah.
which can be used to personalize our experiences both online and offline.
So, like, you walk into a store
Yep.
and you get a personalized shopping experience just for you
Right.
based on your past purchases and, all your online activity.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool, but also kind of Big Brother-ish, right?
It's all about finding the right balance. Some people might think it's too much,
Oh, yeah.
like it's an invasion of privacy,
Yeah,
but others might think it's super convenient and helpful.
true.
It all comes down to choice and being transparent. Businesses need to be upfront about how they're using data
Uh-huh.
and give people the option to say no if they're not comfortable.
Transparency is key, but it's not just about data privacy.
Right.
It's also about making sure these AI systems are fair and unbiased.
That's a really important point. The algorithms behind these systems are only as good as the data they learn from.
Oh, okay.
So if the data is biased, the algorithm will be biased too.
Oh, I see.
And that can lead to unfair results. Developers need to be really aware of this and work to fix it.
This makes me think about all the data these devices are collecting. Are we like inviting these algorithms into every part of our lives without really thinking about the consequences?
It's a valid concern. As AI becomes more and more a part of our lives, we need to have these open and honest conversations about the risks and the benefits.
Yeah.
We need to be informed consumers, ask questions about how our data is being used, and demand transparency from the companies collecting it.
Right. We can't just be passive consumers.
Exactly.
We have to be active in shaping how AI is developed and used.
Absolutely. And that starts with education and open dialogue. The more we understand AI, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions about its role in our lives.
This whole AI thing is really making me rethink how I feel about technology.
Yeah,
It's powerful stuff, but we have to be aware of the potential downsides too. not just the good things.
I think that's a healthy way to look at it. It's about finding that balance between the potential of AI and the risks, and it's a conversation that's going to keep going.
Yeah.
As AI keeps evolving, so will our understanding of how it affects our lives.
Well said. I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today.
Definitely.
It's been a fascinating look into the world of AI and digital marketing.
It has, and I have a feeling this is just the start of the conversation. AI is evolving at an incredible pace,
Yeah.
and it's going to have an even bigger impact on marketing and on society in general in the years to come.
So, to our listeners out there, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. The future is being shaped right now, and it's up to all of us to make sure AI is used for good.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into AI and digital marketing. Hopefully you found it insightful.
Insightful is a good word for it, and maybe a little bit mind blowing, too.
It is mind-blowing. It's amazing how much AI is already influencing what we experience online.
Yeah.
And based on everything we've talked about, it seems like AI is only going to become more common in the years to come.
Absolutely. It's a field that's changing all the time, and it's exciting to see how businesses are using AI to create these really personalized and engaging marketing campaigns.
For sure.
But before we go, I wanted to touch on one more thing. Throughout this deep dive, we've talked about how amazing AI can be,
Right.
but we've also acknowledged some of the worries people have, especially about data privacy and the potential for bias.
You're right. It's so important to remember that AI is a tool.
Uh-huh.
And like any tool, it can be used in good ways or bad ways. It's up to all of us as consumers and as a society to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly.
So what can our listeners do to stay informed and involved in this conversation?
There's a lot of information out there.
Okay.
You can find it online and offline too. News outlets, research groups, even government agencies are putting out information about AI and what it all means. It's also important to support the organizations that are pushing for responsible AI development and use.
That's great advice. The more we know about AI, the better we'll be able to handle this rapidly changing landscape.
Exactly. And remember, this is an ongoing conversation. AI is constantly evolving, and we all need to stay informed and involved.
We've definitely given our listeners a lot to think about today. It's been a really interesting and thought-provoking journey into AI and digital marketing.
It really has. And as we finish up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right. It really comes down to us and how we decide to use this tech. We've seen how AI can be used to personalize those online experiences, create content,
Mm-hmm.
and make marketing campaigns better. But it's pretty clear AI could also be misused.
Yeah, that's why it's important to have these conversations, to make people aware of the potential and the risks of AI.
For sure.
We need to be careful and ask tough questions about how it's developed and how it's used.
And as consumers, we have a role to play too. We need to understand how our data is being used, and we need to demand transparency from those companies that are collecting it.
Absolutely. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's being shaped right now by the choices we make as people, as businesses, and as a society.
So what's the big takeaway? What should our listeners remember from all of this?
The key takeaway is AI is a powerful tool that could totally change marketing
Yeah.
and so many other parts of our lives, but it's our responsibility to make sure it's used responsibly, ethically, and for everyone's benefit.
Well said. I totally agree. It's been an amazing journey exploring the world of AI and digital marketing.
It really has.
And I have a feeling this is just the start.
I think so too. AI is changing so fast, it's exciting to see what's next.
And to everyone listening out there, thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
We hope you learned something new.
We hope you found it engaging.
And maybe even a little inspiring.
If you have any questions about anything we talked about today,
Yeah, or anything else?
come find us on social media. We always love to hear from you.
That's all for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening.